Hello, this is Brendan Ramsey from the Indiana Recruiting Guide. This is going to be another episode of Indiana Recruiting Guide TV, and I'm just going to be breaking down the Class 1A sectionals, just with some overall thoughts on each of them, and then I'm going to make a prediction for all of the 1A sectionals. And I'm going to be going in reverse order from 64 down to 49, so if you're interested in a certain sectional, you can fast forward through as much as you want, or you can just listen to the whole thing. We're going to try to keep it as short as possible, but I'm going to touch on each sectional, so it may get like over 15 minutes or so. My computer's over here, so I'm going to keep looking this way, and I got some notes in front of me, so if I'm not making eye contact, that's why. Sectional 64, we're at Wood Memorial, and that one, the favorite's going to be Evansville Day. They're currently ranked 6th in the state, 15-4 record. They're the only team over 500 in that sectional, but they're going to have to win 3 games to bring home the title. The one team I wouldn't sleep on there is Tecumseh. They're 7-12, play a very tough schedule, so they could be a team that could potentially break through and upset a team like Evansville Day. Tecumseh has wins over North Davies, 3A Pike Central, and also South Central Elizabeth, which has had a pretty good season. And they lost by 5 to Evansville Day during the regular season. However, I do expect that Evansville Day will capture the title, and that is my prediction for Sectional 64. On to Sectional 63 at Lagodi. Sectional 63, year in and year out, is one of the best sectionals in the entire state, and certainly in Class 1A. You have host Lagodi, who is currently 15-4, ranked 5th in the state. You have Bar Reeve, who is ranked 3rd in the state at 18-1, and then you have North Davies, who is 13th in the state and with a 14-6 record. Bar Reeve got the good draw as they're on the opposite side of the bracket from Lagodi and North Davies. North Davies got the bye on the top half. Bar Reeve will open with Washington Catholic. Yes, Washington Catholic. Personally, I think Lagodi will beat Vincent's Reveille and then beat North Davies in the semifinals to set up a matchup with Bar Reeve in the final. And I'm going to go with Bar Reeve to pull out the sectional victory. Now on to Sectional 62 at Borden. Borden drew South Central Elizabeth in the first round. Those are probably, along with Lanesville, 2 of the 3 best teams in that sectional. New Washington got a bye for the second year in a row in Sectional 62. Borden comes in, currently ranked 9th in the state, with a 15-3 record, and I think they will win this sectional. They beat everybody in the regular season somewhat comfortably, and I think they're probably going to do so again. By the way, I forgot to update these rankings. I wrote down these notes this morning, and I believe the class rankings have came out since this morning, so some of these might have changed since then, but just bear with me. I'm sure they're all fairly close. On to Sectional 61 at West Washington. The only team over 500 in this sectional is Orleans at 11-9, so it's a fairly balanced schedule in that sense. However, I think Orleans shouldn't have too much of a problem. Looking at the Sagarin ratings, they're ranked almost 100 spots higher than the next team, which is Springs Valley, and then everybody else is in like the mid-300s per Sagarin. So I don't think Orleans should have too tough of a time there, and they will pick up a sectional title. On to Sectional 60, that's South Decatur. The host appears to be the favorite on paper. They're the only team over 500, but they have had a lot of close games against teams in their sectional. One team, this is kind of a dark horse out of the 1A sectionals, looking at Hauser, who's actually, they're only 1-18, but I believe they just got back their big guy Nick Johnson, and then they have some talent like with Trey Shipley, a guard, and I think they could surprise some people, especially with this draw they got. They played Jacksonville in the first round, and then Rising Sun, who got a bye, will await them in the top half of the bracket. So I actually think Hauser's going to win 2 games in this sectional, make it to the finals, for the right to play South Decatur, who got a bye on the bottom half of the bracket. However, I'm not going to go off the board and pick Hauser to actually win the sectional. I think South Decatur will protect their home court and get the crown. Sectional 59 at Edinburgh is a pretty good one. You have number 2 ranked Waldron at 19-0. However, they did get a very tough draw. In the first round, they're going to have to play Indianapolis Lutheran, led by high-scoring J.C. Fabian, or Fabian, however you say it. That's going to be a tough draw just because he can put up 35 points on you, and you never know what can happen there. And then they're going to play the winner of 13-6 Morristown and 11-8 Edinburgh, who's the host. Both played Waldron tough during the regular season, and they probably will do so again in the sectional. In the top half, Greenwood Christian on paper will be the team that would get through. I expect they will do so. However, even with the tough draw, I think Waldron will stay undefeated and win the sectional. Sectional 58 at University. On the back of T.J. Henderson, the very talented sophomore high-scoring guard for Indianapolis Tinley, who's 14-6 currently. I think they'll take advantage of their pretty good draw and get a sectional title. They play International in the first round, then the winner of Indiana Math and Science and Indiana Deaf School. On the top half, you have University, Fall Creek Academy, and then Bethesda Christian got the bye. So, like I said, I think Indianapolis Tinley will get through that sectional. Sectional 57 at White River Valley. This is only a 5-team sectional. It's very balanced, with Clay City being 12-8, the host White River Valley being 11-9, and then Shakamak being 9-11. All those teams have a pretty good chance to win the sectional title. White River Valley got the best draw. They play Eminence in only 2 teams after Shakamak and Union Duggar on the bottom half will have to win 3 games. Clay City got a bye and will await the winner of that. And then up top, there's already the semifinal between Eminence and White River Valley. White River definitely got the better draw there, only having to win 2 games and getting Eminence in the first round. I think they'll take advantage of that and win that sectional number 57 at White River Valley. On to sectional 56 at Blue River. The draw set up nicely for a Union Modoc versus Seton Catholic final, which is two of the better Eastern Indiana 1A teams. Both fun to watch. You have very talented guards on both those teams. Willie Evston, a little 5'7" guard for Union Modoc, who's had a great season, over 1,000 career points, and another 1,000 career point scorer, Adam Schroeder at Seton, both 2 of the best guards in that area. I suspect that Modoc will come out on top in that sectional. Then in sectional 55 at Monroe Central, this one, Monroe Central, the host, got the bye. They'll play the winner of Liberty Christian and Daleville. Liberty Christian led by Chris Nunn. I don't see them having too much of a problem in this sectional. However, Westdale on the bottom half, who got a bye, has been playing pretty well of late, even though they're just, I think they only have 5 wins. 5-13. However, 4 of those came very recently. You have the Paul brothers there that have played some pretty good basketball of late. So don't sleep on them. However, I will take Liberty Christian to win that sectional. On to sectional 54 at Tri-Central. Lafayette Central Catholic, as usual, is the favorite in this one. They play a very tough record. Their record's usually pretty deceiving coming into sectionals. Once again, this year they're only 11-8. Rossville, who is 10-10 on the other half of the bracket, will look to face them in the finals, and I will take Lafayette Central Catholic to win sectional 54. The North Vermilion sectional, sectional 53. There's no reason to spend a whole lot of time here. You have Class 1A, number 1 and undefeated at 21-0 Rockville, led by Lane Mahurin. They are the favorites to win the state championship, and they really don't have a whole lot of competition here in this sectional. There is 13-6 Covington on the other half of the bracket, who will probably face them in the finals after they do have a bye in the first round. But like I said, Rockville shouldn't have too much trouble. I look for them to cruise through that sectional at North Vermilion. Sectional 52 at Hamilton. This is another 8-team sectional. Pretty good sectional top to bottom. Well, maybe just at the top. It's pretty top-heavy, actually. But there are 3 or 4 very solid teams here. You have Canterbury, who's 11-7, another team that plays a pretty good schedule. They're probably the favorite on paper, and also got the best draw, staying away from Elkhart Central and Lakewood Park Christian. Only have to play one of those 2 teams, presumably in the final. However, touching on Lakewood Park Christian, they're a very good team with some good talent. I had the chance to watch them play Fort Wayne Canterbury earlier this year. It was a great game. However, Trent Van Horn from Canterbury took over, ended up, I believe, with over 30 points and was able to pull out a tough victory. I think Lakewood Park will get by Elkhart Christian in the top half of the bracket. However, I think Canterbury will win that sectional 52 at Hamilton. On to sectional 51 at Culver, I believe. Yes, Culver Community hosts that sectional. Triton got a very good draw in the top half. They got a bye and will await the winner of Culver Community, the host, and Argos. On the bottom half, you have Marquette Catholic, who should cruise through pretty easily to the final. They're 15-5. Triton led by Clay Yao, Indiana All-Star candidate, one of the leading scorers in the state, and one of the best 1A players, if not the best 1A player in the state. I look for that to be probably one of the best sectional finals, at least at the 1A level in the state, between Triton and Marquette Catholic, and I'll take Marquette Catholic to win that one. Then sectional 50 at West Central, you have Class 1A number 4 Pioneer, comes in at 16-3. They put together a great season, and they've already beaten Caston pretty comfortably twice. That's their first round opponent, and North White got the bye and will await the winner of that Pioneer-Caston game. So this will be the third time those two teams have played. However, I don't think it will really matter. Pioneer should make it through this sectional pretty easily. And then the final 1A sectional, sectional 49 at Knott's. You have Knott's in the bottom half of the bracket. They open with Gary 21st Century. Knott's is 17-2, ranked number 7 in the state. However, there are 3 other teams in this sectional with an over 500 record, so this is definitely one of the more balanced 1A sectionals. Like I said, they open with Gary 21st Century, who is actually favored by the Sagarin ratings to win this sectional, but I think that's partially because they play such a tough strength of schedule. Knott's definitely got the tougher bracket, having to play them in that first round. And then Washington Township got a nice draw up top. I think they'll make it through to the finals. However, I think host Knott's will bring home the sectional title. So there you have it for all my predictions on the Class 1A sectionals. Overall, the favorite here, I believe, will be Rockville. However, the winner of that sectional 51 at Culver between Marquette Catholic and Triton, they could definitely make some noise in the north, along with Fort Wayne Canterbury, I think, could make some noise, or whoever wins that sectional, whether it be them or Lakewood Park. But yeah, Rockville's definitely going to be the favorite coming out of the north. Look for whoever wins that meat grinder down at sectional 63, whether it be North Davies, Bar Reef, or Lagodi. Whoever comes out of there is definitely going to have a good chance to make it back to Conseco Fieldhouse. But they're going to be awaiting Rockville, who I think will get over the hump and win that state championship this season in Class 1A. So that's it for my Class 1A thoughts and predictions. Make sure you give me some of your thoughts on Twitter at INRecruitGuide. I'll have that down in the description box. You can always email me. RamseyB14@hanover.edu is probably the best way to get a hold of me, or you can just shoot me a text or call me 765-914-2581. All my contact info will be in the description box, as long as a link to my website, Indiana Recruiting Guide. Unfortunately, I won't be able to actually go to any sectional action because I'll be heading down with the Hanover College baseball team to Florida, so that's a nice consolation prize, but I hate missing out on one of the best times in the year here in Indiana, which is sectional basketball time. So everybody keep me updated via Twitter. I'll definitely be checking my phone a lot while I'm down there in Florida to stay up to date on what's going on up here. So there you have it with my 1A thoughts. Stay tuned for the next 3 videos, which will come out over the course of the next few days. Thanks a lot for checking out, and we'll see you later.